What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down, what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up 4.1%, 1146 the low, so a new 52-week and all-time low was hit, 1223 the high, and about 5.1 million shares being traded. So today's a very interesting day because first thing, around 7 a.m., you did have Williams kind of commenting on the upcoming December rate cut or potential rate cut, saying that given all the circumstances, it's a possibility. Prior to him saying that, roughly there was about a 30% likelihood of that occurring. Now there is a 69.1%. So the market does truly believe Williams. And funny enough, you actually do have a lot of big names coming out saying, hey, don't believe Williams, which is rather odd. One of which is Jim Cramer. So inverse Cramer possibly is a good sign, but we also did get some good data. So a lot of flash data. So composite, manufacturing, and services. Composite and services came in better than the forecast, especially services. So that's kind of a very positive thing. Manufacturing came in line. So 5.1 versus 5.2, all of which though did come in above 50. So shows more of an expansion. And then Michigan 5-year inflation expectations came in at 3.4 versus a forecast of 3.6. So this is ultimately in combination with Williams why the broader market is really moving higher. Plus at the same time, you do see just many stocks that have been massacred over the last 1 month, including yours truly. So Lucid over the last 1 month is down 37.89%. So crazy stuff. When it comes down to institutions buying, again, for those of you that are new to the channel, I always like to dive deep into where volume comes from. You're actually not seeing many institutions buying this rally. Rather, it is largely because of algorithmic trading, piggybacking off of the optimism. But so far, only one transaction on the secondary market, and it is a sell for 646,000. So not that great. You do see the dark pool fairly active, and a lot of this is because of shorts. So shorts as well are fairly active. They were trying to slow the progress down, so they were increasing roughly around 2.5 million at this peak. So this was more shorts linked. But at the time of doing this video, now shorts are returning 314,000 shares. So things are kind of going according to plan, at least in the short term, I guess. But 29.56% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 42.58 million shares overall being shorted. There's quite a few things that did come out. So in my video yesterday, before they officially put out news, I did signal that most likely they were going to be doing the official launch of the Touring, and they did put out news that the Lucid Gravity Touring can now be ordered 79.9. A lot of people, I see a lot of bears bringing up just how the configuration isn't great, just the range isn't great. You have to keep in mind, a lot of people just go to kind of just run minor errands and that's it, right? They don't do long stretch road trips and stuff. So I think given the current circumstances of the Touring, is very well suited. And plus, I think the price point is acceptable, at least to me, at least. It would have been a lot better, mind you, though, if technically there was still that $7,500 tax credit, because with it at 79.9, it would have qualified because it would have been below the 80. But unfortunately, that got taken away. Still no news from Lucid on how they are technically extending that, because they did mention that they were going to extend it. But there was this news that came out at 1:30. Aside from that, though, you did have some pictures of Marc in Washington. So there was a big kind of meeting with Saudi, and it looks like it was more so for export plans. So maybe they're trying to streamline it, because I think generally what Marc hinted at in the last earnings was that they're wanting to start to kind of ship more and more gravities to Saudi Arabia. So maybe they're trying to align that. Or possibly there was some other companies participating in this actual meeting. So maybe there is some other partnerships or kind of licensing deal or something like that coming down the pipeline with these two entities. I don't really see any deal, maybe through someone else. For those of you that may have more insight on this and potentially what this meeting might mean, let me know in the comments below. Only other thing was posted by Nick, And so it does look like Lucid Gravity has been named a finalist for North American Utility Vehicle of the Year. So you can kind of see right here, unfortunately not the car, but for the Gravity. So there was the Hyundai, Lucid Gravity, and then the Nissan. So they still technically, I don't know when exactly this is going to be, or if they do actually select a number one, but I guess as far as right now, they are considering Gravity a finalist. So good stuff. In my opinion, this isn't really something crazy that you need to buy Lucid right now or sell. It's just more of a good FYI. I think Lucid already has more than enough awards. I don't think even Tesla bulls or anyone can argue the fact that Lucid's tech is like on point. My biggest issue, as I've been very open about, is the management, not the product. Product, we already know, deserves a lot more awards than what it already has. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that, looking at the options, 597,000 in calls, 5.5 in puts, and then 53% of all the options being done are bullish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 14 going into next week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 12. So kind of have that range right now. Ultimately, today, with it being Friday, you don't see any strong open interest walls. So most likely you won't be seeing any gamma squeeze, especially with it at 12 and change. You have 653 at that 12, 229 at 11. So that's like chump change, unfortunately. Aside from all that fun stuff with it at 12.12, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. 1180 is that next strong support. When it was breaking down, like this didn't even phase it. So I wouldn't really consider this 1180 strong support. So again, something just to just be aware of and keep in mind. Aside from all of that fun stuff, 1317 and 1403 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Aside from all of that, on the actual chart, I know a lot of people will be very hyped up over today and start drawing all of their random crappy charts and post it on social media saying that Lucid is going to have a nice V-shaped recovery to like $30 get in now. That's my biggest issue as well with social media. Everyone can just say whatever the hell that they want, and there's a hell of a lot of pumpers out there. So in my opinion, the only positive about this chart right here is that it's very oversold. But then again, most stocks are, and I think just because we got today's data doesn't mean that you need to start kind of assuming that we're going to have a recovery to like $30. That's kind of crazy stuff. But I think in general, Lucid could see a nice recovery to, for instance, that S2 that I did mention at the very bare minimum, only because it's been hit so hard. But I do feel like we need some further clarity, and the market is really going to be wanting a good catalyst. And the next catalyst is going to be a possible rate cut. So if the market does truly believe for the December meeting it's on the table, then yeah, you could see a very nice recovery. But assuming that you're going to see a market push higher right here is very, very speculative. There really hasn't been all that much in articles coming out other than touring related. Everyone seems to be just talking about the touring, and it's nothing crazy. They're all just saying the exact same thing. So I think in general, that's kind of a good thing. On a side note, Lucid already did post saying that there's a lot of already made tourings. So clearly they started production a while back. I think the latest flyover as well did kind of signal something along those lines. Some gravities were being set aside. But nonetheless, though, I think Lucid definitely at this price point might be a little bit more of a good risk versus reward. So let me know your general thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.